Hello, and welcome to my rather crowded music room. Behind me you can see around half a dozen early keyboard instruments of various shapes and sizes. But this little video is to introduce you to the smallest member of the family. That's the Osovino. This instrument is the kind of harpsichord that you may be most familiar with. It's quite large, it has 2 keyboards, 3 sets of strings, and you can play on it almost anything from the harpsichord repertoire. But it does have some disadvantages. Its size means that it's quite cumbersome to carry around and it's easily damaged. And of course a lot of harpsichord music doesn't require anything like the facilities which this instrument offers. Of course, many harpsichords weren't so grand. This little Italian harpsichord only has 1 set of strings. It's therefore much easier to tune, and if you wish to, it's much easier to carry around. But harpsichord makers went 1 stage further than this. They could take an instrument of this type and redesign it so that the keyboard was canted around at an angle. That gave them what we now call the Bedside Spinet. They could go 1 stage further than that. If you take an instrument of this kind and reduce all the strings to half the length, then it will not only become much smaller, but it will be playing at an octave above normal pitch. And this is what we call the ottavino. And here is the Otobino. As you can see, it's tiny compared with almost any harpsichord and extremely simple. It's also very portable. And its small size means that it's also very stable in tuning. And if you think this is going to be a rather limited instrument, in fact it has the same number of keys as the little harpsichord that you were just looking at. And it can play almost all the Renaissance and quite a lot of the Baroque repertoire. Some 10 years ago, I commissioned a friend of mine, the composer Liz Lane, to write a harpsichord piece called Tactus. It gave me and others great pleasure. And the qualities of this little instrument were so seductive that I felt I needed to approach her again and ask her to write a piece especially for this instrument. Indeed, I was delighted with the piece, and I'm sure you will be too. This is the one that I've recorded and which you're about to hear.